I just know, like, being where I'm from and stuff, like, people will tell me what people say to them. Like, I'm brown, so I think I don't have it as bad as people who are like African descent and stuff. Like, they say that people openly make jokes about their hair and everything. And recently I was watching the football game, and someone was like, every time something happened with like the Spanish team that, pushed an English player or something, would be like, oh, we can't see because your hair's in the eyes. And that's like a long, like, that trauma goes back so far that Black people have faced with their hair being too big for everyone else or too unruly. And I was like, to hear that being said today,
Yeah,
like, that was not okay for me. I was like, like,
absolutely.
that's not right. It was in the pub I was at. People were
Okay.
shouting this out at the TV when like they saw
Okay.
things like this happen.
Okay.
They kept saying like, "Oh, you just need a haircut," or "We can't see through your hair," or "How are we supposed to score when your hair's in the way?" And I'm like, if they were good players, they'd score. You know what I mean? Because I feel strongly about this topic, I notice it, and then therefore, even though I was just supposed to be watching a game at a pub, it was like, why are people saying racist things? Yeah, and nobody else seemed to mind. That also for me was like, really? Like, no one, like, I was just looking around, like, somebody bat an eyelid about this statement.
Yeah.
But to be
And
fair,
you
I didn't
did.
say anything either. I didn't say anything.
No,
I
but
wish I
you
did, but
really noticed.
yeah, but I was like, it's not okay. Like, part of me on the inside, I was like, I wish I could do something about this, because like, but you feel small, don't you, if you're in a pub full of people who feel one way and you feel the other? Because it kind of
So
felt like
difficult.
everyone was laughing along with the guy and cheering on to his comments, like, haha, you're so funny.
Yeah.
But not really,
And not
no.
funny at all.
Mm-mm. No. So
And
I
if,
think that's the thing
yeah.
I noticed.
And
Yeah.
I hear how alone you were in that pub. You had those
Yeah.
feelings and thoughts. You knew what was
Yeah.
okay
And
and not okay.
I was like, if someone hears you and like, like, I don't want anyone to feel that pain, you know what I mean, of hearing you say
Absolutely.
that. I was like, it hurts me. I've always loved girls, to be fair. So for me, it's never been an insult, but just to know that someone would be insulted by this thing that they cannot change, like
Yeah.
their skin and their hair and something, it's like,
No.
so yeah,
Sean,
that
I'm
was,
just wondering what just, what you might like to have said in that moment. And it's very scary to be on your own in a crowd, but right now, just you and I,
Mm,
no pressure, but it's an opportunity.
I feel like I just want to know why. Why does that bother you? What inside you decided that one was right and one was wrong? How come because it was an adult man, how come in your whole adulthood and your whole life, from like, let's say before 25, I don't hold this against you, but from 25 to 35, which is how old the man probably was, how in 10 years of being a proper full grown adult, you never once stopped to say, why am I shaming people for having a different kind of hair than me?
And how does that feel to say that?
It just feels like I wanted an answer for that, but I don't think I'd ever actually ask it out loud. But if there's any person out there who's saying the same thing as him, like, I just want them to tell me, like, if it was a situation where I wasn't scared to ask, it's like, just let me know why, so that maybe, well, I don't think I'll understand it, but at least I'd understand why you think it's okay to do that, which would maybe, it wouldn't make sense. But I just would like an explanation, because I feel maybe in the process of trying to give me that explanation, they'd see that they don't have one.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
sometimes, like, you feel some certain type of way, and you're like, this is how I feel. And someone's like, why do you feel that? And it's like, oh, good question. And then you have your reason, but then you realize it's not valid when you say it out loud. So I'd hope that that's what would have happened with
okay.
the person had I asked them, but I did not ask them. I definitely just sat there and was like shocked,
Yeah.
but also
But,
not shocked. But like,
well, yeah, that's the
yeah,
sad bit. You're not
yeah,
shocked.
yeah. It's like,
And you're very much
why
on
is
your own there, although surrounded by many, but you were very alone in that pub
yeah,
with
yeah, because
that.
I think I was the only person who didn't think this was funny. I swear to you, everyone on the
I
table
believe
laughed.
you.
Everyone on the next table laughed.
Yeah, I
Had
believe
at
you.
least 12 to 20 people just right next to
Yeah.
me laughing at this joke. Can I call it a joke? No.
No, we know it.
Yeah,
You
I
and
don't know
I
what to
both
call it.
know this isn't a
This
joke.
is
Yeah.
not a joke. Yeah, it
No.
was very upsetting to be sitting there and I'm like, it's 2024. We say we've come so far. We
Yeah.
say they got rights years ago. We say everyone's the same. We don't see color now. Where is all of that gone today?
Yeah.
I was definitely upset after that.
I'm
I
not
like
surprised.
yeah, I was
How
quite
are you? How are you doing, Cher? How are you? What's happening inside of you? How are you?
Mm, I just feel like, part of me is like, why didn't I ask the guy a question? Like, I'm like, why didn't I just ask him? Like, like I'm annoyed that I didn't to some
You
extent.
feel annoyed at yourself.
Yeah, like I was just sitting there, not saying anything, and I should have just asked one question, like, why are you saying that? Or how is that funny? Or you think this guy like got to decide what hair he was born with? Like there's perks to all kinds of hair. Everything is has its own like curly hair is harder to manage. It's not as easy as straight hair, but it looks voluminous, it looks big, and there's a lot more you can do with it. Like there's different things for everything. Like everything has its perks. If you look at it long enough, you'd find
Mm.
something to appreciate. But it just felt like this person just got so into the game and was like, England's not winning. And course, then he made it about color.
Yeah, let's lash out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that, so it was like
Yeah.
brilliant. But I do feel like I wish I was the type of person that could say, why did you do that? Instead of just sit there and be like, I'm not gonna laugh. But it's like not laughing is just silence, and that's not exactly helping anyone. So
But nobody noticed your silence and you weren't laughing. Nobody noticed.
because everyone was so
Wrapped up.
amused. Everyone was so distracted in the joke that it's like nobody even realized that one person is just being affected by this. And I guess I didn't want it to be known how affected I was by it either, because it was like, sometimes when you're not like, I feel like if I've ever said something at certain points, it's been like, but you're not black, what do you know? And it's like, I have friends who are, I know how they feel. I have people who've told me how hard it is to exist as a black person in this world, in the town that I live in, which is predominantly white. So I know what they feel. I know it's not easy and it's not my problem, but I still care.